I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I took no risks. I bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the red, on the reds, watch out for this. I never switch, you never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between our visitors and the Cincinnati Bengals. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
I'm actually old enough to remember him hitting the league, and so many people are talking about his throwing motion at the time. A little bit unorthodox. No one talks about it anymore except in admiration. The ball gets to the target really well and usually with big production.
190. Check 55 to mine. Here we go. 89.
First down, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Third play in this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Rivers now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Jackson. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
49.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Seferian-Jenkins has it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. He can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And Jackson throwing once more. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this route.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
7 yards there and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Nixon will try the right side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
On 3rd down, Grant. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Open man is Ross, complete. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Jackson now. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. This is Mixon on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Tackled by Jordan Willis. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's the end of the first quarter.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it?
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 74 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
180. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Rivers on first down. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
2nd down and goal. Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to run. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. Now the Bengals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Going deep downfield for into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Complete. It's Henry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
50 seconds, come on!
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he's got it. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. A first down throw here for Rivers. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 1st and 10. It's Jackson. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, Jackson. He's got his man, Boyd. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling. Trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And going deep for Hill. He's got a man complete. A big play there for Cincinnati. 44 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
23 yards, the final tally.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver who has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Jackson will throw again toward the pylon, caught, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Well, this is caught by Jackson. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. Well, you think he loved the protection he had there all kinds of times.
And you're so right. How could you not love that? Great protection. The big guys up front really locked in on it. No one gets near the quarterback. He's got all the time in the world to survey the field and deliver for a first down.
And the big boys up front, a big reason why they're also winning, too. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On second down, this is Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On the run, this is Jackson. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that? And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Off the bootleg. Bentley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Brown. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On second down now, it's Jackson. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and complete.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Jackson. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. From the gun on third down, Bentley. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 26. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the delay, it's Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, L.A. Justin Jackson, 43 yards. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. 47 yards. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Ready, break. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jackson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
55. Defense, let's go. Pick it up.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
I smell fear in that offense.
Jackson now. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
10 yards there on a Bengal first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double and triple. Do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw, and that will be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum, and even more hope when they had to slog their way downfield. They got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Come on, set. 10-2 saw.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us.